of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings.
Hi everyone, today is going to be a favorites video. It's pretty much all stuff I've been enjoying these past months. The last time I did a favorites video was kind of a while ago, so I thought I would update y'all on some stuff I've been enjoying. But first, can I have everyone's undivided attention please? Please. This is going to be sort of like a consumerism warning. You don't have to buy things just because someone talks about it, or just because someone you like enjoys it, even though I'm pretty guilty of that. I think I'm someone who gets influenced very easily, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I think it means I just really connect with other people. But what I'm saying is you don't have to buy things with the intention that it's going to make you happier, because most of the time it isn't. It's just a void. That's not my intention with this video. My intention is, you know how there's sometimes this phenomenon where a bird or a dog or a cat, any animal you prefer, will sometimes bring you little trinkets or their favorite little toy, and they bring it and they drop it by your feet just for you. And they do that because they're trying to show you that they trust you and that they like you. That's what the point of this video is for me to show y'all the things that I enjoy on my personal time. And I think that can be very intimate and very personal because, I'm not a gatekeeper. I want to make these connections with y'all, and I think by doing this video is just a way of doing that. So please don't think that I'm trying to influence you. I hate that word. Anytime someone calls me an influencer or something, they're like, you're an influencer, and I'm like, I'm a what? Hate the association of that word. If one day I ever get sponsorships on this channel, which I hope to, but I'm a very picky person, so I don't want y'all to think that I'm trying to influence you to buy something. This video isn't sponsored by anyone or anything. It's sponsored by my own love for making YouTube videos. But like I said, if I ever do get sponsored one day, it's gonna be from a company that I'm actually proud to endorse, or a product that I think is beneficial to me and resonates with my channel. So that hasn't happened yet, but I'm just saying, in the case of future events, if I ever get sponsored and someone's like, oh no, she's turning into an influencer that only cares about money, I don't want that. If that does happen, I give y'all permission to unsubscribe from me. Anyways, I just feel like I had to clarify that, and I will get on with the video now. Okay, so the first thing I've been really into lately, this is gonna sound kind of stupid, but I've been into slippers. The soft little things you put on your feet to keep them comfortable. Yes, those. As someone who is a sock sleeper, yes, that's right, I sleep with my socks on, okay? Lock me up, put me in jail, I don't care. It's comfortable and it keeps my feet toasty and warm at night. So naturally I just love the concept of really comfy things on my feet, and I had sort of forgotten that slippers exist, and it wasn't until I saw these axolotl slippers. They're the most cutest freaking slippers ever, I swear. This is something that I will pass down in my family for generations. It's gonna be the family heirloom. It's gonna go on my will. And then recently I went estate sale shopping and I found these sock monkey slippers. These are more casual, and I like to wear these around the house because I hate the feeling of crumbs being on my bare feet, especially in the kitchen. The crumbs stick to your feet and then you go back to bed and now there's crumbs in your bed, and it just makes me so mad. But wearing these, it's the ultimate way to not have crumbs on your feet. And plus sock monkey. And then the next thing I've been enjoying is stuff from Lush, or just the concept of having really nice baths in general. I bought this wooden thing that goes above your bath, and so you can put your laptop on it, you can put a book on it. It makes it really easy to just bring things with you in the bath. But from Lush specifically, it's this exfoliator. It looks like chocolate. And it also really smells like chocolate. It smells delicious. I want to eat it. This little guy is called a scrubby, and you use it as an exfoliator, which I didn't know at first. The way I figured out it existed was because I went to Lush and they gave me a free sample of it, and it was like a pretty decent chunk of it, so I was using it for a couple weeks before I ran out, and I was like, I need to get more of this. And then I went into the store and I was like, I didn't know what it was called, so I asked the employee, I was like, it was like this really delicious soap that had like sand in it, or like coffee grinds, something like that. And the employee was like, I don't know what you're talking about because we don't have any soap like that. But she was really helpful, and she came to the conclusion that I was talking about the scrubby, which is funny because she told me that this guy isn't soap. He's actually just a exfoliator, which means that I wasn't using soap on my body for 2 weeks, but what can you do? It still made my body like incredibly soft, which is crazy because I feel like no product has ever done that for me. So yeah, I'm glad I found it again. I will now be using it after I use my soap and then exfoliating with it. That's the right way to use it. And then I've also just really been enjoying bath bombs. I know that's like such a cliche thing, but this is my first time like ever really using bath bombs. I know there was like a whole craze of it during like the 2010s and stuff, and I didn't have money to buy bath bombs then. I was a child. So now that I have my own adult money and I can buy bath bombs and fulfill this inner child desire of mine, it's like the most fun, amazing thing. I love using them and just seeing all the colors. It's just such a fun time, and I feel like such a kid whenever I use them. Next thing I've been really enjoying is this peach incense. It's actually white peach, I think. And I've always kind of been turned off by incense because I love the concept of them, but a lot of the times it's just too much for me. It has such like a scent that lingers, and they all kind of smell the same. So I was hesitant to buy this, but then I was kind of like, you know what? Like I really want to try it again. So I ended up really loving these ones, specifically because the scent doesn't last forever. And also it's like a very subtle scent. You can tell there's white peach in it, but it's not like so sweet and overbearing. It just feels like I can get a lot more done whenever I have incense on because it makes me feel more productive for some reason. So it has come to my attention that I literally cannot drink coffee anymore. Every time I try to drink it, I'm like, okay, maybe it won't make me feel terrible and make me compulsively shake and make my heart palpitate. And does that happen every time? Yes. But do I still drink it? Yes. And do I regret it every time? Yes. Honestly, I feel like I'm just kind of over it. Like specifically, there was this last time I drank coffee and I genuinely was up at 2 a.m. pacing around my room, and I was like, I just wanted to stop. Like I was kind of in awe of how much it was affecting me. Like I was like, did I just get laced or something? Like I just think I overdid it with the caffeine because I did drink a large coffee, which I have been able to do previously. Like I think this has been something like slowly getting worse, and I feel like as I get older, the effects of caffeine have just been more dramatized. But this is a problem because I love beverages. I love going to coffee shops and cafes and trying new beverages and drinks. I'm such a beverage person. So I knew I had to find a replacement for my coffee. And the answer all along has been right in front of me. It's been tea. Because there's so many different types of tea. There's so many different ways to make it and enjoy it. And I just have really been embracing that, especially because I know there's still caffeine in tea, but it's such a different effect, I think. The way it makes me feel is just like completely different. So I wanted to share with y'all some of my favorite ways I've been drinking tea lately. Y'all already saw I cracked open a drink in the beginning of the video and I've been drinking it. But these are from Case. The way I found out about them was through an Instagram ad, and I just thought it looked so intriguing. So I just bought it. And I was very pleasantly surprised with the flavors and the quality. I think it is a Taiwanese tea, and I think they get the leaves from there, so it's very quality, and you can tell like this tastes like the type of tea that you get in like a boba shop. Like it just tastes so good. And also what I love about them is they don't have that much sugar in it. They have 3 flavors right now: peach, lychee, and apple. They all taste really good, and they're all under, let me see, Yeah, they're all under 20 grams of sugar. It's just like the perfect amount of sweetness. It's not too sweet, it's just sweet enough, and I enjoy it so much. I bought a case of 12 of them and I'm down to 4 already, so this is definitely something I'm gonna repurchase again and again. Like, I love these so much. I also really enjoy making Thai tea. These are the leaves that I use. I think they're like the most typical brand, but Thai tea is more like a treat for me because you put condensed milk with it, but it tastes so good. I love Thai tea and I think it's a classic. And then these are tea bags that I got from Japan. I wasn't in Japan, but I ordered them off online. It's from a brand called Karel Kapek, I think. I was just really intrigued by the designs of these, and it's also just like a really good tea brand. I have milk caramel tea, I have white peach tea, and I have Wonder apple tea, and these are the teas that I like to enjoy warm and I like to enjoy while I'm reading. So yeah, I love this brand of tea specifically. And then the last beverage for tea that I enjoy is just a good old-fashioned matcha latte. I've always loved matcha lattes, even before they were like super trendy now. This is just like my first time like actually making them myself at home, which I wish I did sooner. The only thing is like it's insanely expensive to buy matcha, like quality matcha. And I always thought people were being dramatic. I was like, there's no way it's that expensive. It really is that expensive. Like, this is only 1.4 ounces and it cost me $38. I think longevity wise, it's more cheaper than going to a cafe and spending $7 to $9 on one drink. So I do recommend, if you like matcha, to try making it yourself. One of my favorite ways is to put frozen strawberries in it and also strawberry syrup, and then I mix it together and it creates the most like refreshing drink ever. But yeah, sorry, that was like a lot of tea talk. But there's just literally so many ways to make teas. I think like every culture has a different way. If you have a favorite way of making your tea, please let me know and I will try it out. And then my next favorite thing are these Doc Martens. I've had these for a while, but more recently now I've just sort of become obsessed with them. These are the platform ones. I forget what like the exact model is, but what I love about them is specifically this like vintage brown color, and it sort of already looks like it's like worn. It just reminds me so much of fall, and I've been wearing them more now that it's starting to get colder. I would say they're not the most comfortable, but that's to be expected when it comes with Doc Martens and also just platform shoes. I don't wear these out with the intention of being like, I want my feet to be comfortable. I wear these out with the intention of, oh, I want to look cool and I don't care if my feet hurt. So yeah, I've definitely been gravitating towards these shoes the most. I am thinking of making a fall outfits video soon, and these shoes are definitely going to be in that video. Next thing I want to talk about is an animal I've been really liking. There's this sugar glider on Instagram, and it's like a Japanese account. Its name is Une, I think. I didn't know sugar gliders, I knew they existed, but I didn't know they were like that cute. And I love the way their eyes like almost pop out of their freaking head. And they remind me of like those little toys you squeeze and the eyes go. Yeah, I just have come to really love those creatures. I've said this before, but I love when animals have like black little beady eyes. That's why I like axolotls so much, specifically the Lewistic ones, is because they have those little black eyes. And so anytime I see animals that have those, I just like fall in love with them immediately. And I've just been obsessed with this little sugar glider. Every time it comes up on my feed, I'm like, I have to stop and appreciate it because it's so cute. Next thing is this little trinket that I found. I went estate sale shopping recently, and there was just like this random thing in the kitchen. I had no idea what it was until I lifted the little bunny, and then there's little toothpicks inside. It blew my mind the first time I did that. I did not know things like this existed. I didn't know there was a market for toothpick holders, but I just thought the design of it was so cool. Apparently it was made by an Italian designer named Stefano Giovannoni. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He makes like a lot of other really cool interior designs with these little bunny characters too, and I just think it's really interesting that I have this, and it's really cool to know that it was made by someone so artistic, but it's one of the trinkets that I really take pride in owning. I'm sure a lot of you already expect this one, and it's no surprise because I've already talked about it a lot in my past videos, but a recent favorite of mine has been marimo moss balls. They're like these little moss balls that are spherical and cute. I have my little biome right here that I created. I think it's amazing how creative people get with them. People keep them basically as pets, which is funny because it's just a moss ball. They keep them as if like it's a little fish, and they make them their own little environment, and I decided to put mine in this little mushroom glass. It has colorful little rocks at the bottom, which you can get super basic and just like put them in a jar, or you can get a little more creative. I've seen people put hats on their moss balls, and I think that's like the most cutest thing. Like, I don't want to see your dogs, I don't want to see your pets, okay? I want to see your moss balls. Show me your moss balls with hats on them. Every time I glimpse at it for even a second, it gives me like a dopamine shot. Like, they make me so happy. The next thing I've been enjoying is what I'm wearing, actually. I was going to talk about this the first thing in the video, but I just remembered it now. I feel like I manifested this because I've talked about it in my past videos a lot, but I've been on the hunt for a Betsey Johnson dress, and I have found my dream Betsey Johnson dress. Yeah, I was up till like 2 a.m. hyperfixating on finding a dress that I wanted. I wasn't necessarily searching for a specific one. I just love all of Betsey Johnson's designs. There's really cool ones that are from the 90s and her more punk era. I think this one's from like the 2000s era because it's like super poofy and, you know, out there. But seriously, I'm just so like happy that I finally found a dress. I love the stripes on it, and I love this like off-white type of color, and yeah, it's just such a beautiful dress. The only thing I'm worried about is like I don't really have an occasion to wear it other than my YouTube videos. I really hope eventually I can wear it out in public somewhere. I just don't know like what occasion that would be. I can't really imagine wearing this dress just like out and about, but I'm super glad I get to wear it for the video, which I know it's really loud, and every time I move you just hear, which I'm so sorry. I know that it's probably really annoying, but I just really wanted to wear this dress. The sacrifices must be made. They must be made for this dress. The next thing I've been enjoying are these pot lipsticks from fwee. It's a Korean brand, and I think these went like viral on TikTok or something. But the reason I bought it is because my favorite texture of lip stuff is like really velvety, blurry, like souffle type of texture, and that's what these are marketed as. So I was really excited to try them out, and I really like them. I'm really surprised about how it feels on my lips. They feel very soft, which is really good because usually these ones tend to like dry out my lips and like be sort of caked on there, but these feel really moisturizing, and they're also just like really satisfying to touch. It's like such an interesting concept. They're like, whenever I put my finger in it feels so bouncy. I think textures like these were super popular during the 2000s. I remember my sister had a blush that was also like this, and I always just wanted to like put my fingers in it and squish it. So these could probably be super nostalgic to some people. The only thing I will say is that there are so many shades to choose from, and that can be a good thing but also a bad thing because I was like so indecisive. It took me so long to just choose these two shades. Some of them are super similar to each other, just with different undertones. There's just like too many shades, and you just kind of have to go with your heart. But I'm really happy with the shades I picked. I have Slay, and I also have Memories. So yeah, I've been really enjoying these. And then this next segment is going to be some books that I finished recently and I wanted to review. A few of y'all have commented asking me what my favorite books are, and you've asked for recommendations. And I'm almost embarrassed to say that like I'm not the most well-read person, and I just feel like I can't really give you a solid answer on what my favorite book is because I feel like I have yet to find my favorite book. I've sort of just recently rediscovered the beauty of reading. I've been through like mini phases when it comes to my reading journey. I started out reading like a lot when I was younger. I was such a bookworm. I was just like one of those kids in class that always had my face in a book. I would read books like Aragon, just a bunch of dragon books. I was really obsessed with like high fantasy dragon novels. when I was little. I was like what horse girls are, except I was a dragon girl. After that phase, I sort of stopped reading, and then during COVID, I started reading again, but I was only reading like romance novels and romance mangas. It honestly sort of became an addiction at one point because I was so lonely during COVID, as was everyone else. Like I think this was like a universal thing. I was just like consuming so much romance content that it literally like numbed me in a way, and I honestly sort of became desensitized to like romance stuff because I was just reading so much of it, and I wasn't even necessarily enjoying it. Like I was only reading it just so I didn't feel lonely. So I just literally read so much stuff. I don't even remember any of it, which I feel like is the ironic thing. So after I came out of that huge funk, it just sort of like left me turned off by reading, and it took me a while to pick up reading again, which I have now. I feel like I've sort of had to restart on this reading journey, relearn what it means to read, and I've been really enjoying it. So I've really just been widening my tastes and what genres I read and the authors that I choose to read, and so it's been fun like getting to expand my resume of books. Anyways, I just wanted to say that because I feel like people think I'm really informed when it comes to literature, but I'm really not. But I slowly am learning more. I wanted to talk about the last 2 books that I read. I recently just finished reading The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This is the second book that I've read by him. I've also read Crime and Punishment, which I really enjoyed both books, and I think they both left me feeling different emotions, but at the same time I could see the similarities between them. I think with The Idiot, I was able to read it more quickly, and I don't want to say easily, but this book's more about relationships and drama rather than like the weight of killing somebody and murdering someone. But this book still definitely deals with like trauma and really existential things. I don't want this whole video to be me talking about this book, but what I will say is that there were moments in this book where the dialogue was like insanely long. Like I'm talking chapters of just one person having this entire monologue, and even though you think that would be super boring and like you just want to skip through it, I actually found myself really enjoying those parts, and I felt so compelled to annotate, and which I always forget, like I can write in my own books, like it's not illegal to write in books. So I was definitely annotating a lot with this book because there was just like so much philosophical ideas and things that I resonated with. So despite there being a big potential for boringness, I never had to force myself to read this book, and I think that's like, for me, a dead giveaway is when I don't like something, I feel like I have to force myself to read it. But with this book, it just came naturally, and I just found myself getting through chapters at a time. So yeah, I'm definitely glad that I got to read it. I hope to read more Dostoevsky in the future. I'm thinking of reading White Nights after this. And then the next book I recently finished was Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. It's such a short, sweet, and simple book. It only took me like a few days to read this, but you could definitely read this in like a few hours. What I liked about this book is I could relate to it so much. The whole idea of the book is that this woman works at a convenience store, and it's who she is. It's her own identity. It becomes her. She worked at a convenience store for 18 years, and that sort of became her life. And as someone who worked at a food service job for 5 years straight, I could totally relate to the way she compares herself to being a robot, in a sense, that just works for humanity. Like, when you're working, you become so mechanical, you like know how to do everything, and everything is just repetitive over and over again. You become like a structure inside a infrastructure. There's times where I'd be working and I just like almost start to dissociate. Like, I'm just a cashier to all these customers. Like, I'm not even a person to them. I'm just a person who does a service for them, and vice versa. Whenever I go out, I always look at the cashier and I'm like, you have a life outside of this, but it's hard for me to believe that. So I've always felt this like weird dehumanization when it comes to working, and I felt that this book really articulated that. I will say that this book sort of doesn't have a point, and that's the point of it, is that there like is no point. If this book was any longer than it is, I think I would have been mad at that fact, but because it's so short, I feel like it really did a good job not droning on and getting lost in that sense of no purpose. Next thing I want to share with y'all is the music I've been enjoying lately. This is an album I've had on repeat a lot. It's by flowlotl, and I think it's her first album. She's a Japanese indie artist, and it's from like the 90s, early 2000s, so you already know like it's gonna be really, really good when it's from that era. But this album is so lighthearted and fun. I just really enjoy listening to it every time. Like whenever I'm editing a video, I'll always try to have background music, and whenever this one comes on, like I just feel so joyous. And the vibe just feels like so wholesome, and like I want to start dancing to it. My favorite tracks are Day After Day After. That one is like, has this really funky groove, and it feels so like suave yet playful in a way. I really, really love that track. And then my second favorite is One Too Many Chocolate, which is like the single of the album. It just feels like such a coming of age song, and I think that's because there's a lot of strings, and I love when there's strings in music. It's one of my favorite instruments. But yeah, it just feels so grand and sincere. But yeah, it's just such a lovely album, and I couldn't recommend it to you enough. Next up are some individual songs I've been listening to a lot. There's a song by Garbage called Temptation Waits, and I have just been enjoying this song so much. It just feels like one of those songs that was like destined for me to hear. Like I just love it so much. I've also been listening to That Is Why by Jellyfish. This is a band that is so like theatric with their music, and they just really, really have fun with it. And they're also talented. It's an insane band. They only have 2 albums, so I've been slowly listening to those because it's just one of those bands where like their music is so good that I want to savor it and not listen to it all at once. So yeah, I've been slowly listening to the discography, and this song in particular has just been on repeat for me, and I wanted to share it with y'all. The last 2 things I wanted to talk about are just things I wanted to appreciate. First thing is a tattoo artist that I really, really admire. I think I found them through Pinterest, but now I follow them on Instagram. They're a Korean tattoo artist. I don't know what their name is, but I have their Instagram. Their designs just like never cease to amaze me. Like I'm someone who really values color, especially in the context of tattoos, because I feel like not a lot of people get color into their tattoos, which is understandable because it's just not as traditional, and I think color fades kind of weird on tattoo work. I don't know, I'm not that educated about it, but it's just something you don't see that often. Me personally, I've never really considered getting a tattoo just because I'm super, super indecisive and I'm scared of committing to something like that. But if I were to ever get a tattoo, it would be from this person because it's just like artwork. It's like pure artwork. So I would definitely want something that's like really crazy and unique because it's going to be on my body forever. So I want to have something that's like not what you see everywhere else. So yeah, I just really respect this tattoo artist. I think it's amazing to not only be a tattoo artist, but to just be your own artist and have your own style. And yeah. And then the next thing is another person that I sort of wanted to showcase. Her name is Sophie Muller, and she's a British music video director. I sort of accidentally discovered her. Not accidentally, but I was watching a music video for No Doubt, Simple Kind of Life, because I love that song, and I was really intrigued by the music video, and I thought it was really put together well. So I was like, I want to know who made this. And I discovered Sophie Muller just out of curiosity, and also just because I've slowly been becoming more interested in cinematography and videography, stuff like that, because obviously I have a YouTube channel, so just naturally I've sort of become interested in those things, and I want to learn more about it for sure. So it turns out that she has made so many like music videos for iconic artists that I love. She's directed music videos for Bjork, Blur, PJ Harvey, Sade, Hole, Weezer, and also Jeff Buckley. Like literally so many iconic people, and she even has directed current ones. I think she did one for Pink Panthers recently, but I just think it's like so cool to know that and to make these connections between art. I think behind every artist or singer is a team of people who really work hard to give this person like a style and a specific concept, and they like really go to lengths to carefully curate an image. And it could be through like makeup, through clothes, through videography, through music, and so many things. So I just really am interested in learning about these like underrated things that I feel like sort of are underappreciated in a way. I feel like it's never really acknowledged that there's a person who directed this music video. It just feels like it already exists, but in reality, like it's a person with their own artistic input, and I think there's something really special about that. And I was reading an interview with her because I just want to know more about the process of it, and I think it's interesting to hear what creative people have to say about creativity. And one thing that she said that stuck out with me was, there's hundreds of people out there, why would they pick you? You have to offer a service or something that people want. You have to then come up with some piece of imagery that you want to see. If you please yourself in that way, you're probably going to please someone else. And I really love this advice because I feel like even with my own videos and with my own art, it's really tempting to edit them in a way that's entirely different from my own style. Like if I were to make a video that's super trendy and uses a super trendy font or uses super trendy music that everyone else is using, and the algorithm's probably gonna pick it up because whatever, like it's tempting, you know? But now that I've been making videos for a while, I think the greatest joy and the videos that have really impacted me are not the ones that necessarily do really good with views. It's the ones where people have reached out to me and told me that my videos have impacted them and have just produced like a emotional connection between me and them. So to me, that experience matters more than anything or any number. I'd rather my channel be a safe place for people to feel comfortable in, even for 20 minutes, than a place that's like trying to milk money out of people's pockets and trying to milk content out of every single thing. And I really hope that's what my videos can provide for y'all. I have so much fun making videos, and so I feel really fortunate that I can make videos and reach out to y'all. But yeah, that's what I wanted to conclude my video with. I hope y'all enjoyed learning about my favorites. If y'all have any favorites you'd like to share with me or anything to recommend, please let me know. I hope everyone's having a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.